I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. This is to the 5,000 ages 15 to 25 that succeeded with what 276,000 of us have failed to do. Just a reminder that besides suicidal, we are failures too. At the age of 12, I realized my screams couldn't reach heaven. The bathroom was always willing to be a witness. Hums from the fan, water rushing from the sink, it was my only refuge. But my body was my homeland. And I woke up the next morning more depressed than the night before. See, life hated me so much it wouldn't let me die.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Applied the same amount of pressure to be perfect on my wrist, made incisions on my arm to reflect the jungle gym in my abdomen. Heard an angel say he didn't give two shits about my life or my family night. To my hazelnut covered skin, red and brown. And at some points I couldn't decipher whether the tears came from the hurt in my life or the pain on my arm. See, I hated him for telling me the truth.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
My definition of depression would be just when you lose all motivation to, you lose motivation in things you would normally just take pleasure in. It's been occurring more and more throughout high school. The more I have to think about big decisions and stuff like that, I just kind of retract myself from a lot of things I used to really like doing.
I'm not sure what really triggered the first ones. I know that part of it was I had stopped really interacting with my sports friends, and then I quit sports altogether, and that really screwed me up.
Definitely just the start of senior year with all my AP classes and the realization that I was going to college and, 12 months and I'd be entirely alone.
First time I really noticed it was sophomore year. That was when a lot of school stuff just became really hectic, and then did solos for show choir. I'd never done that. There's a lot of stress and anxiety. So I noticed the more and more pressure put on me, the more and more I was kind of stop.
I was first tested for it in first grade, but then they officially medicated me and diagnosed me around 5th grade.
There will just be days or even I guess weeks where I'll just lay around, not do anything. I wouldn't be social. There was a point where I just didn't audition for a show this year because I just didn't. I mean, I said I didn't have time, but I just didn't want to, and it was just kind of that where I just lost what I loved to do.
Well, I was actually kind of scared when I was first diagnosed because it's kind of screwed up my mom's life, and I have an uncle who is just totally torn up by depression, and he's never really gotten out of it, and he's probably 63 and still does not ever come out of his apartment.
What were your first thoughts when you were officially diagnosed?
I think my thoughts were just, how could I let this happen? How did I let myself get this bad? How did I miss the signs? That kind of thing.
When I get a bad grade, or if I start getting behind even the smallest bit, if I was sick, I tend to get really anxious, and I also start to get down on myself, and then I tend to even not come to school, and so that really gets me behind.
Does school contribute to your disorder at all?
Oh yeah, of course. Totally.
I definitely think school is a huge reason nowadays because there's just, you have 6 classes, 6 or 7 in a day, and like all of them give homework, and like a lot of them are advanced, you know, so just like how do you maintain that all?
Do you feel that your school has adequate resources to help kids with issues like yours?
I feel like they say they do, but then you don't really notice when you're struggling, because I know I was going through a really bad period last fall for a really long time, and they said like if you ever need help, we're here for you, and then they kind of never were.
Do you feel comfortable going to a counselor with any of your emotional issues at any time?
It's always like a weird thing for me to think about. I'm not ever sure how it would go. But I think, yeah, if I just did it, I'd be able to talk like on and just, it'd be nice.
I don't see a therapist, but I do see a psychiatrist every couple of months.
I see a therapist every 2 to 3 weeks, and then a psychiatrist, I see him probably every 3 months.
Do they help you to cope very well?
My therapist, yes. My psychiatrist, no. He kind of just signs a new prescription and it's like, there you go.
I am 9 years old, and my mother promises me ice cream after I talk to a man with a blue tie and white coat. Suddenly, an orange bottle appears on my bedside table, and twice a day, my mother tells me, "Take your pill."
I am 13 in the summertime and everyone tries to fix me. I start pinching my sides, wishing there was less of me to correct. She calls it anorexia nervosa and mixes honey with my pill.
I am 5 and the woman I play finger puppets with is whispering in the hallway. My mother is shaking her head and saying no in the car. Mom tells me that my therapist wanted to put me on pills.
We have labeled human as a medical condition.
Locking people in pharmaceutical cages.
Medication as preemptive strikes.
We are building the perfect army.
Hazy children become
Brain-dead teenagers become easily controlled adults. I wake up 14 years old and my tongue is a corpse, like I chase the pills with shots of formaldehyde. My eyes only know how to roll back into themselves and my teeth fall out onto my pillow every night. I have lived in a revolving door of doctors' offices and suspension meetings. I do not remember ages 10 through 12.
I am 16 and the taste of bile has become familiar to the point of sweetness. She has run out of things to give me. I am afraid when there is no pill.
My stepbrother is on so many uppers to bring him down that he has to take downers to go to sleep. He is the perfect inexhaustible soldier.
I swallow my fear until I am numb. I am one of too many children living on the verge of sedation. Why can't I cry without feeling guilty?
I am a shadow of the person I dreamt of being.
Medical histories like dog tags to keep track of us.
This is the chemical warfare we should be afraid of!
I'm currently on Effexor and Wellbutrin, and I take 3 of those each morning.
Okay, so I have an antidepressant, I have an anti-anxiety med, then I also take lots of stuff for like my allergies and asthma, like I'm taking Singulair and nasal spray type stuff for my allergies, as well as the depression and anxiety medication.
I know by freshman year I had been on 6 different medicines for the morning and then 2 at night, and then something happened and they wiped out all of those, and so then they just put me on 2.
What generally happens if you take time off of your meds?
I haven't really taken time off of them, so I don't really know.
If I take time off of Effexor, my stomach hurts really bad and I just feel like I'm disoriented, and then if I take time off Wellbutrin, my stomach, I feel really nauseous.
I don't think it's at a critical condition yet, and then of course, you know, it's expensive, and
So you don't feel like
so
you're
I'm
a
not
danger
sure.
to yourself?
Yeah, I don't think I'm a danger myself. I think I can get over them relatively quickly.
Do you have any methods that you use on your own when you have particularly bad episodes?
There's different episodes that I have. Sometimes I just get really irritable and angry for a while, and with those I have to remember to breathe and take some time to just relax. I need time by myself. But then when there's times when I'm just sad, my method is to get out with friends and make myself interact with people, because that's how I make myself happier again.
I already I'm obsessed with movies and stuff, but I find a lot of themes and messages that I mean, if you watch high school movies, you find characters you can relate to, or shows, and I don't know, finding relatable characters really kind of helps me. That's just how I kind of cope with it.
Honestly, I just learned not to keep it hidden. If you need help, tell someone, even if it's 2:30 in the morning and everybody's asleep. You just call someone, anybody, for help, basically.
I say don't cut yourself off. One thing that I cannot stress enough is don't isolate yourself, because that just makes you sadder.
It's growing exponentially, I think, in high school students with all the pressures today of, being involved, being social, and then trying to please colleges and stuff. It's really difficult to maintain all that. So I just think, just take some days to just relax, chill off, do what you want to do, because that's the most important thing.
Don't give up. There are so many people that love you, and there's always a reason to keep breathing.
This is to the 5,000, ages 15 to 25 that succeeded. With what 276,000 of us have failed to do, just a reminder that besides suicidal, we are failures too. Oh, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it is.